What's up, guys? Welcome back to a review of Reuniting Things 4 of Volume 2 that is officially released on Netflix with its final 2 episodes. And to me, I thought these last 2 episodes in Volume 2 were like amazing, and they were like full of emotions, which they were like really emotional. They have a ton of action and a cliffhanger at the end, which totally sets up for what's to come as we head into the final season of Stranger Things and how the show will come to an end as well. So in this video, this will be my full spoiler review for Stranger Things 4 Volume 2, go over everything that went down, and including talk about the ending and cliffhanger that I totally sets up for season 5 of Stranger Things, which will be the final season as well. But if you have not seen Stranger Things 4 of Volume 2, this is going to be your spoiler warning because I'll go over everything. So cut out this video now and come back to the video after you've seen the final 2 episodes in Volume 2. But if you're new here and enjoy stuff like this, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. So let's get into it. And now with this is season 4 of Volume 2, we find 11 where we left her off at the end of Volume 1, which is like opening the gate to the Upside Down, and like Queen of Vecna, like who is a Victor Creel, and we see Dr. Brenner coming in and saw that 11 has done all this, like killing all the enhancement beings and like doing and the massacre in Hagen's lab, which this is what we saw at the beginning of season 4. And then we find again trying to wake up Nancy as she is still trapped by Vecna in the Upside Down and in Hagen's lab. And then we see them back and Max is trying to trail her home and trying to figure out how they can kill Vecna. And with the Max, she mentions that there were 4 gates, which mean 4 kills. That means that there's only like one last one to the 4 victims, and that like Vecna is trying to kill. And then we see them like trying to escape so that they get their supplies and prepare for battle against Vecna, and then they see like a trailer, a home, like a van, and that would Steve that he mentions about having a family and about having 6 kids. And then we see Will, Mike, Arkle, and Jonathan still on the road to trying to rescue 11 from the Nina project. And then with the Will and Mike, they have a conversation, which Will shows Mike a painting of the gang, and then like makes a speech about how the gang has to stick together, or else they will fall apart. And like he also mentions 11 as well, which is probably means that will probably get a reunion between the two of them, which is like 11 and Mike. And then we see Harper, Joyce, Murray, and Enzo still in Russia and had to find a way to fight that demogorgon, as Harper fought that demogorgon back at the end of Volume 1. And then as they're preparing for battle against that demogorgon again, and then we see Joyce and Harper flirting, and then like they become a couple before the battle begins against the demogorgon. Then we see 11 trying to test her powers to bring them back stronger than ever by lifting the Nina project. And then we see conflict between 11 and Dr. Brenner, and then it was then revealed with Dr. Brenner that he was a monster for Henry Creel, who was a Vecna, and that it was Dr. Brenner all along. And plus with Dr. Brenner revealed that like he is the monster, and we all thought he was like setting 11 up to be the monster because of everything that actually did throughout the entire series. It's not like with a Dr. Brenner that he was everything and made 11 go look for Henry Creel, and that he also made 11 look for the gate and for the Mind Flayer too, and that resulted in like the whole facility being attacked by the military. And then it ends with the Dr. Brenner being killed, and then he died. And then with 11, she uses her powers to bring down the military helicopter along with the military down to the ground. And then we get the reunion that we've all been waiting for in the season, and that is between 11 and Mike. And then we see this moment between Will and Jonathan as they are at the pizza restaurant, and the purpose of why they are there is to clear the freezer tank is with the 11 to go in there and I'll look for Max and Lucas. And with us, we see this moment between Will and Jonathan, with Jonathan telling Will on how he'll always be there for him because Will is Jonathan's brother, and we see the two hug each other, and that was the most touching moment that we've ever seen, especially in these final 2 episodes. Then we see the gang as they are preparing for battle against Vecna as they go to a store called the War Zone to get supplies that they need, and then they arrive at the Creole house, and then the gang goes their separate ways. But we see Max, Lucas, and Erica going in, and then after that we see Steve, then Nancy, and Robin going in as well, and then they get like strangled up and almost being killed, and then we see Max and Lucas going in, and then with Max, she asked Vecna if she's the one that Vecna wants, because with the Max, like she is one of Vecna's last victims to be killed at LaFour, and then the next scene that we see is that we see Max being possessed by Vecna and taken back to the snowball dance from season 2. And now with this epic showdown that we see is 11 versus Vecna, with Max and any others being strangled, and then we see that Dustin and Eddie fighting off against the bats, and then we see Eddie on top of a trailer jamming on guitar to a song, and he's saying that it's for Christy, but then ended with Eddie now dead, because with it being said, and that Eddie he died being a hero for Hawkins, and because he watched Christy die, and that he left her, and then we see Steve, Robin, and Nancy, they're trying to defeat Vecna, but then it also succeeds. But after that, we see the destruction of the Hawkins and now being divided apart. It's because with the Hawkins and now falling apart, because with it being said, Hawkins has fallen, and now we can see a battle with Lucas versus Jason, and with the Max and now still being possessed, and Harper now finding that demogorgon, but then with 11 still using her powers, and with the Max still being possessed by Vecna, but then it also succeeds with Lucas winning against Jason, with the Harper destroying that demogorgon, but then with the Max and now still being possessed of Vecna has now killed Max. And now with how this finale ends is with everyone returning to Hawkins to reunite with the others, and now we see that Steve and Nancy and Robin survived defeating Vecna, and now next we see the gang of visiting Max in the hospital, but then it is then revealed by Lucas that Max isn't really dead. She's just in a coma, and that was with the 11 taking Max back to her memories, and then we see the game back at school with everyone now in shelter after what happened to the destruction of Hawkins. And we see Dustin talking to Eddie's uncle about how Eddie died, and that he had died of being a hero for a town that hated him. And then we see Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Nancy at Harper's cabin to fix up everything. And then we see the reunion that we've been waiting for years, and that's with 11 and Harper. And then we see 11 and Harper reuniting with everyone else, and then we see 11 and Joyce reuniting, and we also see Mike and Harper reuniting as well. And now in this final scene, and we see everyone looking at the destruction that Vecna caused. Now we just have the volume of Hawkins, and now it is broken, and now main that Vecna is still alive, and that he'll be the big villain in the final season of Stranger Things, which is for season 5, and now with everyone now back in Hawkins, and now they're prepared to fight against Vecna. And now from what we can tell by the ending is that like a Will was like a feeling to something, and now with them saying that like Vecna is still alive, he's not really dead, and the destruction that he caused on Hawkins is that's definitely going to have a bigger effect as we head into the final season for season 5, where everyone is going to be fighting, and the next where it's going to be the big bad villain of the final season, which is Vecna. And with Stranger Things season 4, I think I really enjoyed this season, especially if it was like split up. It's like a volume 1 and volume 2, and yeah, I really enjoyed this season. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for the final season, which is season 5. And now that everyone is like now back in Hawkins, and now that they're ready to fight back against Vecna, who's like still alive, and now with like 11 and now join them as well. So yeah. I really enjoyed season 4 of Stranger Things, and I really enjoyed doing this, covering this with all you, and I can't wait to see of how the show comes to an end as well. So that's me for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and what are your thoughts on Stranger Things season 4 of volume 2, and what are your thoughts on the season 4 of Stranger Things? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the notification bell for future videos, and you can find my Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.